I started off this show talking about April in this year's Major League season, first month that there's ever been more strikeouts than hits in a month. Last night, Yankees and the Astros played a scoreless game into the ninth inning, and it was a pitcher's duel. And you could say that's great, and it was less than 3 hours, so baseball's happy it's moving along. 28 strikeouts in the game. More than half the outs were at-bats that did not put the ball in play. So I'm saying in order to fix this, one way to fix it is to get rid of that shift. That maybe players are thinking that they're going to try and hit it over the shift as opposed to into the shift. That's part of the mentality. What do you say to something like that?
Well, I think they need to bring back players like me and A-Rod and Jeter so we don't strike out as much. But anyways.
No, in all seriousness, though, I mean, what's different? Why are you guys different from this generation of players then? Why is this happening?
Well, I think they're teaching a different way to swing at the ball now. There's an uppercut. Those quick runs that can get scored is what wins you games in the playoffs. Every time I went to the playoffs, I was thinking, hit a home run if you can, because the chances of getting 3 hits off of an ace in a row, that's tough. So people are looking to swing for the fences, and I think that's why you're getting a lot more strikeouts. And granted, Verlander was pitching last night. I mean, he always has the opportunity.
That's true. Now, that's absolutely true. And Trevor Bauer's saying that the reason why he's pitching this way for Houston as opposed to Detroit is because the pine tar is being used and that their spin rate's a lot better. Do you put any stock in that, Johnny?
I do not, because I would much rather a pitcher use pine tar so he actually has a grip on the ball. Now, those hot summer days when it's slippery, I mean, it gets scary. So I would much rather the pitcher know where the ball is going instead of slipping out of his hand. So I don't think pine tar would help with the spin. But then again, I've been out of the game for 5 years. I'm not sure.
But, I mean, pine tar is still the same as it is now as it was when you were playing.
Yeah, but I like it around the plate instead of wherever.
So who's teaching these guys to swing like this then? The current Major League batting coaches, or are they, from what you might know, being taught something different in the minor leagues, or they're learning this in high school, pony ball? I mean, where's this coming from all of a sudden?
Yeah, they're learning from watching these major league players. I mean, Chris Bryant has a great uppercut swing, and though not everyone can do it quite like Chris Bryant. So he's one guy who I can definitely tell the difference on how the swing is, but they have to be learning it at a younger age. I still like putting the ball in play. I had to. I had speed. I had to try to disrupt things. These guys are definitely bigger and stronger now, and they want to hit home runs. From 1 to 9 in the lineup, they all want to hit home runs, and that's a good thing. But the strikeouts, they can definitely cut back on that. I was a very good 2-strike hitter. I pretended like I still had a 0-0 count on me every time I had 2 strikes, so that's why I was very successful. I'm not sure if the mentality of these guys, when they get 2 strikes, like choke up on the bat, that never worked for me. Doesn't work for some people. It's a very uncomfortable situation, I feel, when all of a sudden you have to choke up on the bat and try to hit anything close. So I always thought the count was always in my favor, so that's why I hit well with 2 strikes.
Well, what about, again, I know I'm oversimplifying it when I'm saying get rid of the shift, but if it makes it easier to get a single or a double, don't you think it would release the idea of I've got to hit it over people's heads? I mean, the idea of seeing a third baseman standing on the right side of second base so the second baseman can go all the way in short right field is just ridiculous to me.
It is ridiculous, but as a player, you have to adapt to the situation. Playing the Toronto Blue Jays for so many years, they brought their second baseman into the first base hole for me, and they brought their shortstop close to third base. So I had the whole middle of the field. When you're facing a guy like Doc Holliday, I was just trying to play pepper. Like, whatever I do, just make contact and hit the ball up the middle. It could be a 20 hopper or it could be a line drive, but whatever you do, hit the ball up the middle because you're going to get on base. You're going to disrupt things. So players need to learn how to, chip the ball to the open area. And then that's when they're going to stop playing the shift.
The Rich Eisen Show, weekdays at noon Eastern on Audience.